meetings or parts cannot be copied, recorded, reproduced or reused, and noting that this meeting will be live streamed via Teams webinar facilities, and they can't be reused, transmitted without the prior written consent of the General Manager. The meeting is being recorded and made publicly available on Council's website, and persons attending the meeting should refrain from making any defamatory statements. Council acknowledges this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Wiradjuri, Gundungurra and Darug people, and respect the history and culture of the elders, both past and present. Oh God! Are there any declarations of interest, councillors?
No.
None. For confirmation of minutes.
No.
5 reports for the decision. 5.1 is delegates to external organisations and appointment of council committees. I would at this stage move that we go into a committee of the whole. Could I have a seconder, please?
I'll second.
Councillor Primar, thank you. All in favour? Thank you. I note, councillors, from the spreadsheet or the table that was circulated, most of the delegates to external organisations and committees have been agreed. I believe there are 8 that we have to vote on. So I think we will deal with those individually. There can be some discussion, but then if we can't be resolved further, we would go into a vote. The first is the Ben Chifley Catchment Management Steering Committee. Those who've put their hands forward are Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Frank O'Connor, and I'm already on that committee. So in respect to that, I think we need a delegate and an alternate. Can there be any agreement or not between Councillors Hayden and O'Connor?
I would like to be the delegate.
I'd also like to be the.
All right, I'd call for a vote on that. Normally the vote would be by show of hands. Is that what people would like?
Move for a show of hands. Are they able to say why they would be the better person?
Absolutely. Would you like to present Councillor Hayden first?
Yes, I have a large interest in the Ben Chifley Catchment Management Steering Plan. Not steering plan, but the Ben Chifley Catchment Management Plan I'm well aware of. My political involvement, the flood management plan, and I believe it's important for council to have a delegate on that committee who has some involvement with some ministers, other councils, good relationships with other councils that are also on that committee. And I'm very thorough in the reports I write as delegate.
Thank you, Councillor Hayden. Councillor O'Connor.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yes, probably in my professional career on farm anyway, it's been my key point of interest, riparian management, waterway management. I've sort of got a fair bit of experience in it, and I've seen what can be done and the great benefits that can be done. So I think I've got a lot to offer the committee, and I know it's a key facet of the Bathurst City Council, and given that we form the majority of the catchment, I'd like to be on that committee.
Yep. What I suggest is there be a show of hands, and the one who's elected as the delegate is the delegate, and then the one who comes second in the vote becomes the alternate. Is that satisfactory to everyone?
Yeah.
All right. I'll put up, so all those in favour of Councillor Helen Hayden being the delegate, please put your hand up. 2 votes. All those in favour of Councillor Frank O'Connor being the delegate. You voting? Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. I announce that Councillor Frank O'Connor is the delegate with Councillor Helen Hayden as the alternate. The next one is the Black Springs Community Association. We have 3 nominations and we need a delegate and an alternate. So the 3 are Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Frank O'Connor and Councillor Clive McCarthy.
Mr. Mayor, I'll step back from that. Which, if that helps the process.
Okay, fine. Can Councillor Helen Hayden or Councillor Clive McCarthy, you both wish to be the delegate?
I'd like to be delegate, but it's up to Clive.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. I was asked to put my name down on that one, that's why it's there.
Right. If that's the case, then I intend to put it to the vote. Sorry, we can hear them speak. Sorry, yes. Councillor Helen Hayden, would you like to
Yes,
speak on this?
I've been the delegate for the past 2 years, 9 months out there, provide thorough reports to this council in regards to BSCA. Don't really think I need to go on too much about it, but, yeah.
Councillor McCarthy.
Yeah, I was approached to put my name or to go on this committee by a couple of members of the community. They were not happy with the chair, so they asked me would I put my name down, and it's up to you councillors to see whether you want Councillor Hayden and myself. I don't live in Black
That's not a
Spring.
chair.
Sorry.
It's not a chair position.
That's anyway.
No, the whole committee, I think, is the chair.
Yeah,
One.
I
This
realise
one's
that.
I'm
I'm
the
a delegate.
delegate.
I don't live in Black Springs, but I still have a lot to do with the area. But anyway, it's up to the councillors.
Okay. So I put it to the vote. All those who vote for Councillor Helen Hayden to be the delegate to the Black Springs Community Association, please put your hand up. And those against? Well, those who would like Clive McCarthy to be the delegate to the Black Springs Community Association. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I announce Councillor McCarthy as the delegate. Borough and District Community Associations, that's fine. We go then to a vote of the Joint Regional Planning Panel. So just on the previous one, Helen Hayden would obviously become the alternate for the Black Springs Community Association. So we go to Joint Regional Planning Authority. Normally we have 2 delegates and an alternate. At the moment, we have Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Lauren Trembath, Councillor Jill O'Grady and Councillor Clive McCarthy, I believe, have put their names forward. Is that correct? All right, so I think we go through this on a show of hands vote, unless there are any decisions prior to that to ask the. So I see that there's an expertise requirement for this. So Councillor Hayden, can you provide us with your expertise, please, for this?
Yes, management experience. I also have heritage qualifications and environmental law, traffic and transport interest through attending the various conferences and IPWEA stuff. That's about it.
Thank you. Councillor Lauren Trembath.
I'm already on the panel. I've been since I first was elected to council. I have experience in planning, having presented to council prior to coming on and making representations about planning issues. I also am chair of the Heritage Committee, so I have that background. And of course, I have a business background, but I think I also bring a sort of measured approach to my decisions. And yeah, I think I would still like to be part of that panel. I find a keen interest in it, and have been part of some big decisions that have been beneficial to our community.
Councillor Jill O'Grady.
I have prior experience in state legislation for the environment and federal environmental protection and policy. I have personal experience in the tourism, agritourism industry, and also interest in bringing the communities ideas and what they'd like to see happen in significant based projects.
Councillor Clive McCarthy.
I'm a bit down on skills on this. All I've got is common sense. No, I had the experience to go on it, but we dealt with Mayfield Gardens, we dealt with Pine Hill Quarries. And one of the biggest things you've got to contend with is you're advised by the government because their representatives are there to give you the technical expertise. But the biggest thing in the common sense was, can you live with the decisions? Now, I brought that up at the presentation down at the RSL Hub. That lady said she didn't say it. She come back to me later on. She said, it's exactly right what I said at the meeting. You've got to make decisions that you can live with yourself. And with the Pine Hills Quarry, we eliminated working on weekends because of those people that live close proximity. We had the other one out here on the Sills Creek Road, 4.5 kilometres away. That lady from Cowra, I can't think of her name at the moment. She wasn't there. She was great. You listen to those people with the experience, make your decisions. But that's all I've got. I haven't got all them technical things. I've just got, local knowledge and I've got to live with the decisions I make. Thank you.
Excellent thing to do is
All right, so we go, so noting that there are 2 delegates and 1 alternate.
I'm happy to be an alternate.
Right, well,
you do this for people.
there's 4 people, so we can't, that can't be automatic at this stage.
Okay.
But we note that, so we'll start, all those in favour of Councillor Lauren Trembath being on that joint regional planning.
So are we each voting for one person at this stage?
At this stage we are, unless we want to do a secret ballot and then
No, that's fine. So this is for Lauren.
this is for Lauren to be on the joint regional planning panel. All in favour?
Sorry, in my head.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
did.
6, 7, 8, 8, right.
So that means that only one person is going to vote for one of 3 people.
Yeah, even people haven't voted for themselves, so there's some confusion.
The next delegate and everyone votes again,
Then
Yeah,
and then the alt,
Still got another vote.
yeah, still got
Still got
another one to go.
but everyone gets to vote again.
Yeah.
so just through the chair,
Or we could do this by preferential vote.
if everyone voted
Oh, you didn't.
4 times in a row, they could all put their hand up 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
The way that the voting would work with a show of hands would be, if you want to vote for Councillor Trembath, you put your hand up. If you want to vote for Councillor Hayden, you put your hand up.
Yeah.
But you get 1 vote in the first round.
Yeah,
And the highest vote of that first round would be the first
So we
delegate.
are only voting for one of the 4 candidates.
One of the 4 candidates in the
Right.
first round.
So, all right, so we've got, well, no, but Councillor Hayden said she only wants to be alternate.
No, she can't say it.
happy to, but
All right,
But then-
All right. so we have 4 candidates. So you can only do 1 vote, right? So, no, we have to do it again.
Yeah, you got 8. You didn't vote for
Just
yourself.
leave Lauren's vote there and then continue with the other names.
You blitzed it.
No, we have to start again, it was the wrong way round, because everyone was incorrect.
Do we understand?
So,
Not
Because
really,
they're-
no.
I will say that, so you get.
No, I'm with Lauren.
I don't understand.
Each of us get 1 vote.
So through the chair, because you are voting through a show of hands, you vote for the person who is your, let's say, first preference.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so if your first preference is Lauren, you put your hand
Yeah.
up,
Which we did.
right?
Well, no, I didn't give
Well,
everyone the
well,
opportunity to vote. for
Eight
them.
people put their fair, so no other person is going to get elected.
Why? If they can, there's 2 delegates and, alternate.
Yep.
So it's up to the council to decide who they want to be the two delegates and the alternate.
The, everyone's gonna get 9 votes then.
Not really. I'll probably get one. I've been seeing what's happening. So.
Shouldn't the people who put their name forward not vote for Lauren?
No, that's not true because we can support her.
Okay.
I've supported Lauren previously. She's been good in the panel.
So in a show of hands, when there is 4 people voting, you only get 1 vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you can absolutely vote for Lauren if you're being nominated,
So-
but then you can't vote.
so if people knew that, would everyone who has voted for Lauren have voted for Lauren as their first preference of the 8 people who voted for her?
Well, I don't know because I would like to put my hand up for myself and for Clive. So how do I vote for those two?
You have to make a choice as to who your first vote is for.
Can I just explain?
No,
Should start again.
In this first round, we are voting for the first person to be elected as delegate.
That is correct.
Once that person has been
Yeah,
elected,
go
we will
again.
start a new round among the remaining 3.
That's right.
So we will then all get
Another vote.
Right, so that's why I'm saying, I would suggest that Helen would vote for herself in the first round and Clive may vote for himself and I think Jill would vote for herself, right? But it's up to so the other people will then make the difference.
we're all confused. Okay, let's vote.
Right, so as your first preference, if you like, to go on as the joint regional panel, we're having the vote again for Lauren Trembath. Who is your first preference to go on this panel?
No. First preference, yeah.
Yeah,
Aren't you going to vote for yourself?
Yeah, but I thought we'd.
but you can vote for Lauren as well.
No, you can't.
Why?
Because you've only got 1 vote for the first
Vote.
4
Someone else.
people. So some
See, the lowest vote,
Okay.
lowest
the
vote
lowest
goes off.
vote is out. So in the first round, you will vote for who you want to be,
You get 1 vote.
Who you want back?
right?
Okay.
We are having 4 votes. We're going to say Lauren
Or you'll
first.
have 3 votes.
What?
Well, you'll have 3 votes because the last one will knock the other one out.
Mr Mayor, I'll make it easier. I'll retract my nomination.
Because I nominate you.
We're gonna do this with other ones, Clive. We need to.
It's just-
Yeah.
With that vote, once I've voted for Lauren, in the first round, I can't vote again.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's what we're
So
saying.
once you vote,
Once.
once you vote again.
So none of us are voting for anyone else.
No,
You're putting your vote in for the person as your first preferred. So if, say, Lauren gets in, right? We then go again.
Lauren will then vote again
Yeah.
for the next person.
Yes, so why couldn't I vote then for Lauren?
You absolutely can do that.
Okay.
But then you won't.
So
get to
why
vote
can we
for
not
yourself.
do that?
She might want to.
It doesn't.
And you're still not getting it.
No, we don't get it. Can we,
Can
can I move a
I
motion?
suggest we do this by secret ballot?
Yes, can I move that motion to do it by
Same
secret
as
ballot?
we did for the
Yes.
deputy mayor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should.
So do we just list the 4 names and put 1, 2, 3, 4 in
Yes.
preference of?
Yes.
I think that's it.
1, 2, 3, 4. May I move the motion that we do it as a preferential vote?
Preferential.
Preferential secret ballot.
All right, do we have a second?
Mr Chair, before we go down there, can I have one last go at
No, no, no.
I think we've given up.
You have 4 candidates and 9 votes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? In the first round, one of those 4 candidates will receive the most votes. Right? That candidate then becomes the person and you drop down to 3 candidates. You then do a vote for the 3 candidates. Everyone gets to vote again. The person who gets the most votes out of that 3 candidates will become the second delegate. You'll be left with 2 candidates. You vote again. And the 3rd person elected will become the alternate, with the 4th person dropping out. You get 3 separate votes.
Yes.
But a minute ago, you said,
Well, you said
once
we
we
couldn't.
voted for Lauren,
Yeah,
we
but
could vote for anyone else.
In the first vote.
In the first
That was
vote,
the
you
first
can't.
vote.
Only when you get to the second one.
Oh, no,
So there is 9 votes in the first round, there is 9 votes in the second round, there is 9 votes in the
So,
third.
so as an example, if 4 people in the first, let's say 5 people vote for Lauren in the first round and the others 4 don't. So in the second one, so we have the next person, they get 3 votes. In the next round, you know, Lauren ends up being it, and it keeps going down.
May I move us back into normal session and then move the motion that we do it by?
You don't have to move us in normal session.
Well, we do move that we do it by preferential voting secret ballot.
Well, in that instance, you would.
Oh, it's a JRP.
I need to move into the normal.
Is you take that note that there's a consensus around doing that,
Yeah, and then we'll go to that later.
and then do it with the other ones, because.
All right, so if that's the motion, you've got a second, we won't go back. But what I'll do is I'll take a note, and when we go back into open session, we'll have this as a separate vote, as a preferential vote. People happy with that?
Yes.
Do I have a seconder?
Second, please.
Can you repeat the motion?
I just want to move it to a secret ballot by preferential voting.
We'll note that.
When we're back to know.
Yes.
We'll note that.
I'll second that.
Second, right. All in favour? Yes.
Yes.
All right, so the next one is the Mining and Energy Related Council. Do we have no vote on that required? Sorry, got mistake. The next one is the Black Springs Hall Committee, I think, isn't it? And we have 3 nominations: Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor O'Connor, and Councillor Jill O'Grady. Councillor Helen Hayden, would you like to provide a presentation as to why you'd like to be on that committee, please?
Yes, just to inform the new councillors that have put their hand up for this committee. I have previously been the chair. We've accomplished a lot of work on the hall. MOU with BSCA, we're a very efficient committee. I think I'm a very efficient chair, working with Matthew and his staff. We managed to get a lot of work done, a lot of important issues that have come under the hall with repairs, and it's got some significant works to be completed moving forward that are in process. And I just think I'm the best person for the job. I have that hall committee often completed within 30 minutes, and we're all out of there and everyone works well together. So I'll have to say on that.
Thanks, Councillor Hayden. Councillor O'Connor.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I live in the area. I've been to a few of the Black Springs meetings, but not the hall committee meeting. I've been asked by a couple of the local residents to put myself forward for this. Given that I live in the local area, I've got an interest, so I'd like to put my name forward.
Thank you. Councillor Jill O'Grady.
I too was approached to be on the committee due to the fact that I have experience in facilities management and event management. I felt that I would be a good addition to the committee.
Thank you. And noting we also have the person who is appointed to the delegate of this committee would also be the chairman or chairperson, sorry. And then the second person would be the alternate. So how do we want to do this? A show of hands or secret ballot?
Show of hands.
Show of hands.
All right. All those in favour of Councillor Helen Hayden being on the Black Springs Hall Committee? Is that 5? Right.
What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4.
All those in favour of Councillor O'Connor being on the Hall Committee? 1. All those in favour of Councillor Jill O'Grady being on the Hall Committee? 2, 3.
You can vote a couple of times.
Sorry?
You can keep voting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's that? 5?
And again.
There's too many votes.
Too many votes?
Councillors, in the first instance, you only get one vote.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Let me do it again then.
Yeah.
vote for the chair.
All
Vote
You're
for the
voting for the chair.
voting for the chairman of the, right,
There is three to choose from. You had one vote.
right, councillor Helen Hayden. All those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right,
How are you voting?
Who's for?
4.
Even.
Yeah. And councillor O'Connor.
Oh, so.
Two.
So hopefully we should be three.
Councillor Jill O'Grady. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, right.
Does that mean I'm the chair?
So we have Helen Hayden chair. Right, now we have for the alternate. And this is a new vote.
I'll step down.
What?
I'd rather, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I'd rather Jill probably.
Can you step down there?
Can I step down?
You can now?
Yes.
Yep.
You can sit down there. All right, councillor Jill O'Grady is the alternate.
If he steps down, that means he should vote again.
That's what I.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. His vote's loose out there, so.
Sorry.
But you've just stepped down from the alternate.
Yeah,
vote.
yeah, yeah. From the old.
So Jill becomes the alternate.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right. The next one is the Oberon Sports Facilities Committee. We have I need a vote on that. We have currently councillor Tony Alevras, Deputy Mayor Katie Graham, councillor Frank O'Connor and councillor Clive McCarthy. Last time we had 3 delegates and a chair.
Which one was that, Mr. Mayor?
Sports Facilities Committee.
Oh, yes, sorry, found it. So there's 3 there.
4 there, councillor McCarthy
Oh.
put his name forward as well. Okay, council Alevras, would you like to provide your background for this one, please?
Yeah, well, I've had over a decade of sort of experience in managing sort of sports, a sporting organisation, a fairly decent one. So I guess that's what I'm drawing on, my experience for this area.
Thank you. Councillor Katie Graham. Sorry, Deputy Mayor.
Yep, I've had experience with quite a lot of the sporting groups that are represented there. So I'd be quite interested in helping them get what they need.
Councillor O'Connor.
Silver, councillor Graham, I've had experience, president treasurer of a number of sporting organisations and I'd like to, contribute to the community.
Thank you. All right, so the first vote
And
will
there was
be,
Clyde.
sorry, Clyde. Sorry, Councillor Cartwright. I had you here, but yeah.
I personally don't play sport, but I think sport's one of the things that brings the community together. I'd like to stay on this committee because you come along here and you listen to the groups that want different parts of their sport and improve, whether it be puddles in the league club ground or things like that. But yeah, I come along and support the groups that come along or spend their time coming along. And yeah, I'd like to stay on it.
Okay, there's no reason for this committee. Although we had 3 previously, we could have 4. What do people feel about that?
I believe that 4 would be fine. That's just 4 representatives and I don't imagine every one of them is going to be there at each meeting. So I don't think 4 is going to turn up at once. They may not.
I'll just add that there won't be enough room in this room. It's one of the most well-represented committees I've ever been on. And it seems like it's growing. It sort of was a little bit shaky at the beginning and then it just kept going and going and going. So I'm not sure whether.
Libraries.
New location.
Moving to the library.
Yes.
Well, I think we can find a spare chair.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, because they're very active, very keen, so.
Okay, so if the general feeling is that we can accommodate 4 people and the 4 people, I'm quite happy. We still have to appoint a chairman. I mean, from what I've heard from what people have represented, I think the 4 people could make a valuable contribution from their experience. So certainly don't have an issue.
Want to be the chair? Does anyone put their hand
So
up?
we have a nomination for chair from someone?
I would nominate Katie Graham with her sporting background. She seems to be in everything. High participation, and I think that she would be a very good choice to be the chair.
Thank you.
I was going to nominate Tony, but I'll support Katie if she wants to be, but
No, I'll support Katie as well.
I'll support Katie as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
thank you.
I think then by consensus, it is Deputy Mayor Katie Graham as chairman.
Thank you.
We go to the Australia Day Working Party. Do we have to require a vote on that one?
Ask for a vote, yes, this to be to assist you.
So at the moment, we have myself, who's automatically on it, together with Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Lauren Trembath. So there'd be a vote for Councillor Hayden or Councillor Trembath. I'd ask Councillor Trembath to provide a presentation on
I've
why
already,
you would like, on your committee, why would you like to be on that committee? Yes.
like Clive, I've got common sense. No, I've been on the committee from my whole term of the last council. It's one that I'm interested in, as it's quite a civic event for the community, and it's, I enjoy being a part of bringing you all together, and I've already started working on the one that's coming up.
Thank you, Councillor Helen Hayden.
Yeah, this is a working party group. I believe that having the three on the committee would be okay, even though there are outside community members, because council's funding this, council has big input into this. I believe that three wouldn't be too much to ask. I do believe that council should have more input in this, and being an active contributing community member, I would just like to be part of it.
Are there any other views from councillors about the number on this committee?
It's just always been you and the one councillor, isn't it?
So through the chair, the issue here is that you also involve community representatives, and having more councils and community representatives sometimes may be construed as
How many community representatives are on it?
3.
So what's wrong with three and three?
There's also 2 staff.
It's 2 staff, so we're over.
But is council paying for the event?
Yeah.
Council fully paid for the event?
And grant funding, no, and it's just about grant funding.
So the question is, I suppose that gives a total of, well, normally there'd be, did you say 3 staff members? 5?
There's two staff.
2 staff, normally 2 from the councillors, that's 4, and 3 community members. Or 3.
I'll withdraw.
I think, okay.
I'll withdraw. I just, yeah, I think it should have had more council input, fresh ideas.
Certainly if we required, further assistance, councillor Hayden would certainly call on you if that's right. Yeah. Thank you. All right. And that's by consensus. Next one is the Oberon Sports Complex Working Party. Currently, we have Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Tony Olivris, Deputy Mayor Katie Graham, self, Councillor McCarthy, and Councillor Trembath. I think we decided this should be back to about 5 people, at least 4 or 5, shouldn't it? Does anyone have any view on the numbers here for a working party? No. So at the moment we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that right? Have I got
I
all the
can't
people?
go with 6. There may be time when someone's not available.
There's no reason we can't go with 6. The only problem is then, does it really mean that, the working party becomes the council? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are we talking sports or sports? Or words?
No, sports.
So through the chair, there is an issue here.
Yeah.
Which is the raising around probity.
Yes, we have to have
Opposed
two.
to having a 3-councillor steering committee to assist with that. So you do need 3 councillors on this one.
All right.
Now, through the chair, if you were to nominate, you would instantly be one of them, and you would require 2 others.
I'll withdraw. Will there be opportunity for other councillors to attend some of these and to watch, not as voting or just to come along?
So
Just like in the steering committee, because I just feel that councillors should have broader input into this and be able to attend meetings and see what's going on.
through the chair, the steering committee simply provides recommendations to the council. The council will have the absolute authority to make decisions in this regard. It is simply to do the probity around making sure that all the things are in train as they should be with the probity claims.
So should that wording be changed there to have this only around the probity plan and not as the Oberon Sports Complex Working Party? And maybe change what's there, because it doesn't mention that, it just mentions, it does.
It does actually.
Probity requirements, sorry. I
Yeah,
missed that
sorry,
word.
it does actually
Direct
mention.
dealings with that.
Yeah.
What are we doing going forward? We'll be having another Oberon Sports Complex Working Party, because we're going to have one that's going to continue on after it's built as well, so.
And that will be for the management.
That would be a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
That's for the management of the sports complex going ahead.
This is during the
Yeah.
build.
So this is to get it completed and,
Okay, I'll withdraw from that. So does that take it down to a proper working party size?
no, we've got 2,
Who's left?
so I'm happy to withdraw from that.
You can't.
I can. So we've got
Wasn't
Councillor
Andrew part
Leverett.
of the start of the probity?
I did that from the
Yeah.
I wasn't actually part of the working party, but I did that from the perspective of the council.
The previous reps were Councillor Lauren Cranbath, Councillor Clive McCarthy, and Councillor Nick McKechnie.
I mean, I think I would certainly suggest for consistency that it would be assistance if Councillor Trembath and Councillor McCarthy continued on it, because they have the history of it. And I then think it's a question of the Deputy Mayor and Tony Alevris. But that's just a suggestion. I can't push anything, but I think there is a role here for some consistency with this, because it has been going on for some time.
And that was the only reason I put my name back in again. It's in the program.
And there is a lot to know on that probity side, I know, and the history and how PWA and everyone else fits into this picture is quite complex. So, yeah.
I don't know, Tony.
So if we can't get agreement, we still go to a vote on for the 3 members out of the 4 delegates. So
If you're saying already that you want 2 for consistency to maintain.
yes, but I can't make that decision unless council by consensus, unless council.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you have to resolve that.
I agree
I
with
think that's a
5
good
and
idea.
1.
And then.
So I can put a motion that do we agree that Lauren Trembath and Clive McCarthy should remain on that committee for
Can we
consistency?
vote on
And
that?
if we do that, we all vote.
Yep, I agree with
And I
that.
have a seconder for that? Yeah, and right, I'll put that. Does everyone agree with that? Anyone against it?
No.
No, so that's gone. So we have 2 delegates there. So now we have a question as to whether it's the Deputy Mayor or Tony Alevris. Tony, would you like to speak on what you think should be on that committee?
Yeah, I mean, I've got pretty strong project management skills, quite good skills in business and finance. So pretty much it.
Okay, Katie?
I just think it's one of the really big, important projects that the council's undertaking. So I'd like to be part of that
Yes.
group that recommends things to council.
That's a requirement. Yeah. It's right. It is.
So I actually think both are putting up a good argument.
You put yourself through that.
You also created that argument.
Yeah.
Voting.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I think we have to go to a vote. Do we have an alternate delegate? If someone can't attend?
It's just the three.
And you can turn up wherever you want.
All right. All those who think Tony Alevers should be on that committee, please vote.
Yes, you want to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I note that Tony Alevers is elected as a member of the committee.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
All right. Hard decision, I think, for everyone.
Last one isn't working.
Yes, the working party. Now, on this one, before we go to the vote, so at the moment, we've got Councillor Ian Tuckett, Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Frank O'Connor, Councillor Tony Alevers, Councillor Clive McCarthy, and I do declare that I have been asked to be on that committee as well. So that would actually make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Question is, if we're going to get to 6, is it more appropriate that this be a whole of council committee?
So I think the first vote.
So, well, let's have a discussion.
Do you need a motion to start a discussion?
Well, motion is, yes, should the working party be a whole of council committee? I'll move that. A second. Second. Council, yeah. O'Connor, all right, discussion on this. I've put my point. I think that the 6 people, it may as well be here.
Yeah, my input on that would be, it's such a large part of the budget that I know myself, I mean, if I can use my skill base in any of these topics, it'd be this one. I might not be included in the committee, but if I can make any input, I think I can really make a difference because I'll come from a different angle, and I'm sure each and every one of the councillors here, they have the same view, being such a large chunk of our budget.
Thank you. Clive, did you want to speak?
I just think.
Sorry, go.
It used to be all the council, and I think it's where all our money's spent. And I think the more people you have on it, the better. It's, experience on this is nothing. You get the general public complain about potholes. You get farmers complain about roads getting washed away when the grader's been down there the day before. I think it should be the whole council have the opportunity to have input into this. Thank you.
Anyone speaking against it? Sorry, Councillor Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it would work better if it was a smaller committee. Certainly it was the whole of council when it was the Works Committee, because that committee was effectively making resolutions. This is simply a working party making recommendations to council where there's the opportunity to have further discussions if necessary, if anyone who wasn't at the working party meeting wanted to continue the discussion. To my view, it's the fact that we spend so much money on roads is an argument for having a smaller, more focused committee to go into more detail on some of those funding and strategy issues. I would agree that if we were to end up with the whole 6 people who have nominated, then that's almost the whole of council anyway. But I would be suggesting that we limit it to probably 4, maybe down to 3 councillors with a particular interest in works and particularly in roads and particularly in road strategy. And I think we're more likely to get into some serious, detailed policy discussions in that manner. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hayden.
Am I allowed to speak as neither for nor against? Just throw that one there. I get where councillor McCarthy's talking from, but if we were to go down the whole of council, I believe we need to kick back off the works committee as a whole of council. And if we're going down in the works working party side of it, I would probably say 4 would be a good number. Only so that we don't get bogged down in too many alternate views in different. 3's a bit too low or medium. 6 probably too much. But if people want to go with the 6, I was always one of those that was for keeping the works committee going and doing the road trips and having regular meetings because it is our largest expense and our biggest infrastructure. So that's just my input to just help confuse it all.
All right, so any further discussion on this matter?
Can we see if we want to go back to the full works committee by a show of hands?
Well, wait on, okay.
Yeah, I move motion.
You'll need an amended motion.
All right, well, I'll move a motion that we go and see expressions of interest on going back to the full works committee.
That's an amendment.
Well, I don't care.
I'll second his amendment.
Right, so that we go back to a full works committee.
Yes.
Right, would you like to, do you like to speak to that?
Yeah, I just think that the money that's out there, you don't need an expertise. You're called on the road committee as a councillor and you rely on your staff for the expertise. So I would see it as a full council thing.
So if I could ask you a question, what's the difference between a working party of the whole of council and a works committee?
Because when you make the decision at the meeting, that's it.
No, it still has to go to, it still had to go previously.
The original one, we used to have it, what decision was made that was it. That was maybe before Gary was here, but it used to be.
Through the chair, we've even got legal advice on this
Okay,
that says that if you form a committee, the only way recommendations turn into resolutions is through a full meeting of council. The reason why we changed around this to start with, why we changed the finance committee to the finance extraordinary, is so decisions can be made at that time. Council then said they wanted to stop the amount of meetings that were being held and give back to staff. So they resolved to go down the working party, and they had a working party for all of council for anyone to turn up to. And that's why you've got a working party here.
And it didn't have to be as formal. Yes.
And wasn't formal. You can get into strategy and deep dive in certain things like.
Speaking as the second up, I was one of those members that did not want to go into a working party. The working party became less formal with less attendance. I believe that having a working party is an ideas party. It's informal, it's to nut out some ideas, to focus on a specific project, etc. And you can always have a working party around a project under a committee. So I like the fact of having the works committee. I would want to see the works committee back. I want to see it structured and professional, and I know everything's taken seriously, but I mean taken very seriously, because that's our largest expense, our biggest infrastructure, the most serious, the connection between life and death of our community. Like something goes wrong, with roads and transport and stuff, that is a priority. And I'd like to see it back. I'd like to see it back every couple of months, not twice a year. I mean, for something as major as our road network, we shouldn't just be having a meeting for a working party like twice a year or more. It should be every second month minimum.
Councillor Tucker.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'm speaking against the amendment for mostly the same reasons that I spoke a couple of minutes ago, but also because the working party enables more informal, organic sort of discussion. When you have a committee, which is effectively the same as a council meeting, you've got motions, recommendations, motions, and you speak for or against, and it is much, much harder to get into other sorts of details or other suggestions. And that was why we changed it from a committee to a working party in the first place. About 12 months ago, we got a report on options for how to structure what was previously the Works Committee, and we changed it to the Works Working Party partly for that exact reason, to enable that much more detailed discussion on our most important part of our functions. And I think we're more likely to get it right if we enable those informal discussions to go ahead. It doesn't mean that if we have a 4-person working party, as we know, any councillor can turn up to those meetings anyway, but to have a core group who are nominated and with an interest in works, I think will more likely get to better answers.
All right. I'll put the amendment. All those in favour of the amendment, do you want me to read it? That we go back to basically, we move back from a working party to a works committee. I think that's the gist of what you're saying, isn't it? Councillor McCarthy, and seconded by put the amendment. All those in favour? 3 in favour? Thank you. And 6 against. So we go back to the original motion, which was that the Works Working Party consists of the whole of council, which I think I moved and Councillor O'Connor seconded. I put that motion. All in favour?
Whole of council.
Whole of council. The Works Working Party become the whole of council. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the original motion, the Working Party becomes the whole of council, is passed. Okay, can I have someone move us back into open session of council? Thank you. Councillor Hayden, seconder, please. Councillor Tucker, thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to, yeah, but I'm going to refer to the list. So the recommendations that come out that have arisen from the council as in whole, that council confirm its appointment of council delegates to external organisations in the document. I'll call it the document agreed in the council in whole of committee session. And 2, that council confirm its appointment and chairs of the section 355 committees and make appointments to other council committees, community committees and working parties for a period of 2 years as outlined in the document prepared in the council and committee of whole session. That makes sense? So we're referring to the document prepared in the council of whole session. It's the one that we got one more in. Yeah. Sorry, and 3, in relation to, well, we have got to do the JRPP. So I should do that before this one, shouldn't it?
Yes, just you would resolve to create the community structure as presented in committee of the whole.
That's what I've done that.
Yep. Apart from the JRPP, which will go to a formal vote.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
And that's an external observation, so I have to amend that. So 1 would be amended to say council confirm its appointment of council Galaxy external organisations as set out in the document prepared in the committee of the whole, apart from the appointment of the JRPP, which will be resolved by which will be subject to a separate resolution. And two, council confirm its appointment and chair of the section 355 committees and make appointments to the other council committees, community committees and working parties for a period of 2 years as set out in the document prepared in the committee of the whole. We have a movement, please, of a motion. Thank you. Seconder. Councillor Graham, Councillor Hayden move, Councillor Howard second. Any discussion? All in favour? Thank you. We move on, and second relevant issue is, the second matter is the joint regional planning committee meeting, which is, find that, sorry. We need to elect 2 members and an alternate delegate to the joint regional planning panel. That in the committee of the whole, it was resolved that we should do this by secret ballot, and we have 4 interested councillors, or Councillor Helen Hayden, Councillor Lauren Trembar, Councillor Jill O'Grady, Councillor Clive McCarthy. So we will need to do this by a preferential secret ballot, and I'll ask the General Manager to circulate papers for people to vote on, or councillors to vote on, please. General Manager, do you want to explain briefly how this vote will work?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now, through this process, because there is 4, and because the way that council has resolved to do this, there is a process that we need to go through in order to have it selected. The way the further vote will work is that we've written the names of the 4 councillors on a piece of paper, each have the same width and length. If someone wants to come and view it, they can. We will need to draw these out of a hat to see how they will sit, how they sit in a ballot.
Right, with the preferential one, don't you just have to put all the names on the paper and number them 1 to whatever?
You can do that, but you've done it through secret ballot.
Yeah, but that's preferential through secret ballot,
We're
isn't it?
using the ballot paper.
Oh, okay.
We're choosing the ballot paper
Yeah.
order at the moment.
The order has to be first,
Yeah.
so everyone's got the same list, and then we go down that path. Sorry, Tom. So they need you to follow the hat. So you will vote 1 for your first, 2 for your second, 3 for your third, and 4 for your fourth.
Yes.
The way the preferences work is it'll be the lowest number will be selected because you have the lowest ones, if that works.
So if someone gets the lowest number of votes, that they are excluded.
They're excluded.
No, so someone in preferential is the lowest number is the first one, that's like, because it's all your 1 votes.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Because you are voting like 1 for the first. Does that make sense?
I'm going to get you one of them rolls and.
So Mr. Mayor, because you're the winner, you are the chair, you are the donkey voter.
Right.
Councillor
Jill O'Grady. For second. Councillor Clive McCarthy. Councillor Lauren Tremba. Councillor Helen Hayden. I'll put those over there so I'm not confused with any subsequent ballot. So so with this one,
Make the decision.
the largest, always gets split first.
Other areas, you go on the order, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's overall.
You're gonna say the combination, this one's all the lowest ones.
What's the all ones? Then the twos will be. So really what you'll do is you go, everyone will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You'll add them all up. The lowest number is selected. The second one is the next. The third one is the third. Mine's
Fully just
So it's easy as
what's
possible.
good that the church. No one seen.
If there's a draw,
That's like 3 weeks.
7, 5 minutes. And then 4 ones for someone else.
No.
So it's up.
Yeah, and it wasn't a moment. Well, it works out on Facebook. She keeps an eye on who died about it.
this is a structure again.
We couldn't get it.
It's not, you did it 3 other things.
Because we're writing 1, 2, 3, 4. Previously, we just voted for one candidate.
Yeah.
We're all in now we're putting all our 1, 2, 3, 4.
Preferential, rather than a ballot. Because you're very kind and you don't want someone to throw you out of the house and be first on this one.
That's right. That's very uncanny, that one.
I'll maybe take it. Jill was first. I have a second.
Lauren and Helen.
We're just waiting for the preferential
The
vote
votes,
to be
the vote
given
papers are being.
rather than remot myself writing a report on.
I thought we'd be reprimanded then.
We're
We're
talking,
just waiting, it's one of these
I
ones.
was just explaining.
Is that for the audience watching at home?
Yeah.
Anyone is watching.
Good day, good evening, audience. Now, for your pleasure, we, you,
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't take. That's a recording.
just to
I better go slower.
Oh, that's good. Put on your tone, because it's embarrassing.
Well, you hide behind your monitors. Do that a lot.
Memories of.
May I share?
Sure.
It's a little bit different, this memory.
You can have pictures. Yes. You can do that. Can we do one before?
Yeah, you're doing wonderful. So 1 being your first preference. So 1's the really one you want.
I'm done, thank you.
Thanks, done.
No, don't need to fold it.
Vote for airplane, that's your.
Thanks.
Done. Did you put it in there? You didn't. I like the JRPP. I like the JRPP when you contact Joe. to get Sears notification. I don't want it. Don't need to put them on. Look at that. Yeah. Did you get the yards? Yes, we got that notification. They've got to be in this number.
See the hours are repaired.
Yeah.
Someone in the street and lose it, but they asked them to get the
No,
two.
it's got, there's only this, then so the presentation.
Steve, the chip, the RPA. Oh, Darren's taking too long.
I think we could have a slight break.
Reason.
90 seconds.
Yeah, I have to actually be changed the operator. It's that, it's like. It's a really strong. I will choose it.
Yeah,
For when put 3 years.
Yeah.
you can log in and do it.
You're too.
I've got headphones. I was actually going to bring my headphones in, log into that, listen to the next presentation, and do that system.
I do two things.
The thing is, yeah.
Otherwise,
Really think like that. Because that's.
Just remember, councillors, you're still being recorded.
we were talking about our office of local government training at 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially,
It's a business. They might come in and very. It's what we
Through the chair, the voting has been undertaken. The 2 delegates for the JRPP will be Councillor Lauren Trembath and Councillor Clive McCarthy, and Councillor Jill O'Grady will be the alternate.
Good. We then need another resolution.
We just need the resolution to confirm that you've done that and that's how it's.
So that's right. So I'd move a motion that for the JRPP panel, that the council appointed councillors Lauren Trembath and Clive McCarthy as delegates, and councillor Jill O'Grady as their alternate delegate. Seconder, please. Councillor Hilton Hayden. Any discussion? All in favour? Thank you. Unanimously carried. Time is 3:09 PM. I declare the meeting. Sorry, what's wrong?
We moved the motion to accept all the delegates. I just wanted to add an amendment to the motion to state to the whatever one that all delegates are to provide a delegate's report to council. All committees.
Thought we passed
delegates.
those. I thought we
We
passed.
didn't have a delegate must provide a report to council.
Did we,
Put that as a separate
If
motion.
we
Because
cut-
that
yes.
other one was done.
we are past the other ones.
Yeah.
So so you want to put that as a new motion,
If I may.
that delegates to what, external? and-
Delegates to all internal and external committees are to provide a delegate's report to council.
You have a second for the motion? Councillor O'Connor? We can discuss. Councillor O'Connor? Discussion on this? Councillor Carthy?
Lots of times with RFS, you can't provide a report because it's the decision being made, or it might be like the other day, it was virtually just a meeting and gone. So, you know, what do? RFS meeting, blank signature as a delegate. Anyway.
I think that,
I take on notice what councillor Hayden does. She does a terrific report on the meetings that she attends, but not all the meetings need a full report.
Councillor Tucker?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yes, I agree with Councillor McCarthy. There are some that simply don't need that to happen. Some of them get a report anyway, but not from the delegates, such as AREC and such as Cabinet Committee, and in many other cases, there are the minutes of those meetings come to council anyway, and those minutes are prepared by the council staff, so it doesn't need another separate report from the delegate. And those minutes being there enable any questions to be asked either of staff or the councillor delegate. And so to add yet another full report from the delegate is just an extra unnecessary burden. Thank you.
Right.
Or just see if there's any other discussion. Any other? Yes, councillor.
Yeah, I believe a delegate's report is essential, only because other councillors who aren't on those committees get some insight. You don't always have to write about what's been done or what hasn't been done. You provide a report, you give a brief breakdown about how many people attended, so it shows for the popularity of that specific committee. You're just taking some notes. It's part of your requirement as a councillor to provide information to your council. And this is one of the ways of doing it. And not all of these committees provide minutes to our council. And I was also told when I started council that if I was a delegate, I should provide a delegate's report. So I believe all delegates should provide delegates' reports. And if I'm going to do it and other councillors do it, I believe everyone should do it. And it's part of our role. So that's all I have to say at the end. Thank you.
All right, well, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour of delegates providing reports to council in respect of their committees or external organisations. All in favour?
I agree with that.
All against? By 4. Lost. Motion was lost. All right. I declare that it's now 3:13 p.m. and I declare this meeting closed. And note that the next ordinary meeting of council is 12th of December. No, 12th of November, sorry. Wrong month. 12th of November next week, Tuesday the 12th of November at 5:30 p.m. in this premises. Thank you. All right, thanks everyone. We still recording?
Going through the obvious.
We are still recording.
We are still
Do you want to cut?
Training, yeah.
Come back to
Come back to it.
it.